What's up, guys? Today is August the 7th, and we're back for another live session. As always, I'm going to start off with a few admin stuff. If you guys aren't on the portal, make sure you are. Sign up. It's pretty easy. Said it multiple times. We'll go over it once more time. Trading room, forexlens.com/trading room. Go to this link, and you're going to click get full access until August 16th, or sign up now for 97 monthly. This feature is obviously to combine the signals and the trading room. If you want to try it out for the next, I guess, 9 days or so, just click get full access until August 16th. This will be the free option, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill out this form. You're gonna get an email sent. It might be in your junk mail. You might want to check that, and then you use those login details right here, forexlens.com/portal. And with those login details, you want to copy and paste them here into the user and password. Usually that will be the best case instead of typing it out. We get a lot of requests on support saying the login doesn't work. The login should work if you copy and paste them. I know they're usually complex passwords, but once you paste them in, you can log in and watch the live there and use the chat feature. So that's out of the way. I'm going to send out these live links, and then we can get started with today's session. Today is a Wednesday, so we're right in the middle of the week. We should be getting more movement. We had some pretty crazy movement last night, and Aussie is just pulling back, and we can enter again after this pullback is done.
Ever wonder how your friend's selfies look?
I apologize for that, but I have to do this because some people are so reluctant to get onto the portal, and I have to actually manually send these links out. So I'm gonna do that. In the time being, make sure your questions are there. Yesterday we had a really good session, and pretty much every setup we covered played out to the T, and a lot of pips were made, so that's great. So I'm gonna send this out. And it's looking like the trade war will continue. There's not an end in sight, and this could be pretty bad for not only the dollar but also for pairs like the Aussie, who are also major trade partners of China. So we'll get into the fundamentals of what's gonna come. Till then, the yen and the Swiss will show a lot of strength as safe havens. Okay, so we're good. Let's go send in the pair recommendations, and we can get on the way. I will obviously be covering the majors first. Oops. What's up? What's up? Yep, gold is rocketing. It was pretty much a given. It was expected. 1500 was basically destroyed, tapped, and now it looks like we're gonna go higher. Okay, okay, so while you guys send this, I'm just gonna start off with the euro, since we are in that trade. We did close 25% of our position yesterday, just to be risk aversive. But going to the 4-hourly, shorts were taken somewhere down here when we got the close below our trend line, but price actually came back up and made a decent run to go to 1.12500. We didn't get all the way there. Price is actually getting squeezed by recent resistance at 1.12180. So hopefully, in our case, we do get squeezed down, and we continue down further. In terms of price action, this is still, I still see a short until we really clear this high right here. I do see euro being short, especially based on the fundamentals. Although the dollar is weak, it's not as weak as the euro, and that's what we're going based off of. Obviously, the technicals were indicating a short with this closure below this trend line. We didn't get a full fallout like I expected. You know, it could have been a really nice setup from here to here, but we're kind of about 20-ish pips away from our stop loss. Actually, I lied. 35 pips away from our stop loss. So you know, we're good. We've minimized some of our loss already, but we'll see what happens with price action. I don't think there's any fundamentals coming out for the euro tonight to kind of be a catalyst for this move. Let's just check. So tomorrow we have Aussie, okay, monetary policy. That'd be something to take note of. And then Friday, GDP for the pound. So for euro, we're just gonna stick to the plan, stick to the guns, and see this trade play out. In the meantime, we did make some decent profits from Aussie and USD CAD. Let's take a look at Aussie. So Aussie, yesterday we went as deep as 50 pips. First take profit was hit. Like standard practice, stop should be moved to entry, and the partial should be taken. And this is just a nice reason why when we do have a significant move, you know, you might have as an aggressive move on the opposite direction, which we did. So we got bounced at entry. You know, whoever took profits at 50 pips, you know, maybe you lucked out. But usually I take after the first take profit. I usually recommend to take profits after in 15 to 20 increments. So you know, you could have bagged the full 50 there, but if you were asleep, it's fine. We have another entry coming. So we did a nice retrace. You know, price moves in waves, so we had a nice pullback. All we're looking for is a nice close below close below 0.67500. Nice close below there could indicate a nice continuation down. You know, if you look pull back, you see Aussie does like to move in 20 to 30 pip increments. You can see right here. Each pullback is usually around 20 to 30 before a drop of 50. That's what we're seeing. So it's nothing out of the ordinary for this type of move. I don't see this as a recovery or a reversal for Aussie in no way. The weekly, if you look at the weekly, we've literally pierced a nice actually the monthly would be better. We've pierced through a nice support zone and closed outside of it. So looking at this tap right here, 0.86400. You can see it was support here for a few months, and then we just smashed through it, and obviously 0.67935 was also a nice support that we just smashed through with no regard. And this was a given. This is expected. Aussie is expected to be weak all across the board. They're going to be cutting rates, and their biggest trade partner, China, is in the trade fiasco with the U.S. So that's obviously going to hinder their economy, and we should, looking to the left, see some movement to the support zone, which our final take profit is at, right near 0.66,000 or 0.65,000, where we should be headed. It is a swing opportunity, so our stop is pretty substantial, but the overall risk to reward, if you look, is 2.29. So looking to the left, as explained before, we have all this accumulation, contract accumulation that happens in the zone, and because price has pierced that previous support zone, that's where it's going to be magnetized to. And after this miniature retrace, I do see Aussie going further down, and tomorrow, which is Thursday, Lowe is going to be speaking about the monetary policy, which I believe he will confirm the rate cut, and maybe that will be the catalyst for our next move down to our first official profit level, 0.66103. So that's Aussie. Let me just check the chat real quick. I did see someone say CAD yen. I will look at CAD yen. Nice, Jared. You took euro dollar buys. Nice. Jared, what was your entry on there, if you don't mind me asking? So yeah, this is great. I like how these live sessions are getting people to take their own trades. We have 8 signal providers in our paid signal service, and right now we're offering 6 in the free Telegram channel. And if there's a trade that comes by, whether it's from me or from anyone else, and you do not agree, it's fine. You don't have to take it. You may be able to take the opposite if your analysis says so. Just use these things as tools, and you should see yourself becoming a trader of your own. But looking to the pound, what I was talking about yesterday, we were in a channel, and if you're a scalper, you could have made some profits. Yesterday we drew this channel. We were somewhere here, and I did say with GDP coming out Friday, all the pound is going to do is consolidate, and that's what we've been doing. We've been consolidating in this channel. So if you're a scalper, you could have just been scalping from the touches and the bounces off the channel. So we did have a nice bounce during London off this part. Earlier in the morning off this part of the channel, and you could have long for 20 or 30 pips. But in terms of any movements, I don't see any coming anytime soon. Friday will definitely be the deciding factor, especially if the GDP is lackluster. The Brexit deal will be more and more likely. Just looking at the overall price structure, it is a down. It is bearish. You can also look at this as a bearish flag pattern. This is your flag pull. This is your flag. I do expect overall fallout deep into the support zone and further downside. But to do that, we need to see what happens Friday. But price is setting up as a bear flag pattern. Flag pull. This is our flag. Should have a spill out. Entry. I'm not giving an entry for this, so don't enter. But this is something to watch out for. The only thing that would change my opinion is this high right here at 1.22500 area. If pound for some reason, or if GDP was great, can close above this level, we may have at least some short-term log opportunities to these highs right here. But that seems highly unlikely, and I'm sticking by that. I do see pound being bearish for at least quarter 3. Going on to quarter 4. Going on to gold. Gold. I mean, this trade was perfect. Play out to the T. We had a break, retest, rejection of a key level, and we hit our first take profit as 1500, and the other one was 1528. That's where I see us going. If you took this trade, you made, going off based off our entry, 1461. This is a 400 pip trade right here. All it takes is one trade, and gold especially respects technicals very well, and especially during times of market instability, during trade wars, global tensions, gold acts as a safe haven. Countries stockpile gold, and we see this right here. This nice move off this technical resistance. It was amazing. You should take partials already, because 400 pips on any account, no matter how small the lot size is for gold, you would be in some deep profits. Gold can make or break account. That's why I usually don't call the setups unless it's a sure thing. And what we're going to see on the smaller time frame, if we do look, is maybe a pullback to 1500, which we're doing right now. So we did get that push above 1500, a nice pullback with this red bearish candle, and now we're kind of just sitting on 1500. Price could either retest right now, which it is doing, and then reject, go up higher, or we may consolidate and maybe even slip below. It could happen. We may slip below, create a nice low in the 1488 region, right around these highs. So this is what we could see happen. So if we don't get a push from this level after this retest, we could actually have a deeper retrace somewhere to 1490, where these wicks were, and we could have a rocket up from there. So we could have something like this play out and move on to higher highs. But that's gold right there. Simple price action. Look at this bull run. Barely any bears in this bull run. We did have some bears come in. Obviously, 1500 is a psychological level, so people are looking at sell stops in that area. But if this candle can push off or give a nice bullish reaction, you can enter long to the final take profit, at least in the near term, for 1528. If you did miss the entry, or you just you have a small account, there could be a nice intraday setup to go long from here. Given that we do get that reaction, you can have stops right below these recent highs. That's gold. Nothing much to talk about, but definitely a nice long setup. Jared, you got in at 1.1. Oh, that was actually a really nice entry. You're probably in some deep profits, Jared. Probably close to 80 pips in profit on your buy. Congrats. I believe that was off support, right, Jared? Yeah, so you probably bought somewhere around in this area. Nice, some near-term support right there. It's great. So moving on to Euro Yen, which is another setup I called yesterday during the live, and I didn't call as a signal, but I did say if you're in this live session, you can enter now. The entry was right here where I plotted this. We did go into about 15 to 20 pips drawdown, and then we went as deep as 50 pips, or actually 55 pips into profit. So for those of you that joined the live session yesterday, you bagged an extra 55 pips in profit for Euro Yen. Congrats. Hopefully you took partials at the 30 pip mark, 25 pip mark. But this is a swing opportunity. That's why I called it. And the entry was there for the next push down. So what price usually does if we pull back on the 4-hourly. So if you look on the 4-hourly, you can see, just looking from left to right, Euro Yen is in a downtrend, right? There are stages where it'd have mini uptrends, but then it'd be followed by a downtrend, and that's where price kind of tricks novice traders, right? So if we look down here, we did have this nice push down, and then we had a similar push up, and this is where novice traders will think, oh, it's reversing, Euro Yen is reversing, let's get in longs. But all price does is once it has this initial push down, it'll have a relief and then a further down move, and you can see that as a commonality in Euro Yen. Just looking at the past price action. So we had this move down, we had this aggressive push up, we had a bullish engulfing candle here, right? And a lot of novice traders will think it's time to reverse, and then price is consolidated, and then we had a deep push down. Same thing somewhere over here. We had an aggressive, pretty decent uptrend, and then we had some consolidation, and then a nice push down. So that's the way price moves. That's why it's always great to trade with the trend and not try to catch reversals. And the confluences were all there. We broke this major weekly ascending trend line, and we pierced through key support at 1.19854. Looking at the monthly, just to give a refresher to people that are new, this was our price action from the monthly time frame using the top-down analysis. This key level, 119.854, was a pretty good support for us as far as back as December 2016, going back to 2013, going back to even 09. So when we got that break and closure outside of this level, we knew we were going to have fallout to the support zone, because we had that case happen here. When we did get this close below this level, price tapped the support region. When we closed below this support region, price went to the support region. When we had closed below this level, price went to the support region, and same thing here. So we're just following previous price, and it is looking like the fundamentals are aligning. If you pan out a bit, you can see we were making a bearish pennant pattern. So you should see that downside, and fundamentals are indicating with the trade war and the global tensions, the yen is going to act as a safe haven, and we should see further downfall for the Euro Yen. And that's the Euro Yen. If you're in profits, keep them. We have a huge swing opportunity with final take profits at 114 area. Moving on, that is Euro Yen, USD Yen. So USD Yen, the short opportunity is there. Hopefully you took it. So yesterday we were somewhere around here, and I did say that if we can close below this and this is not a key level, this is actually the ascending trend line from the weekly. If we can close below it, we'd have a great short opportunity, and if you look, you'd probably be in about 45 pips profit. So the entry was somewhere here, and boom, we did get a nice retrace and then rejection. Boom, 45 pips easy. Same price action as the yen. Going to the monthly, we have broken a nice weekly descending trend line, and our nearest support is at 104.736. And with gold rocketing to new highs, since USD yen is the inverse, I do see 104.736 being hit by the end of August, maybe mid-September. That is our long-term target for USD yen. We've talked about it since we've shorted from this level, and that's where we see USD yen going, looking to the left, a nice support region, and that's where price is headed. We've also wicked there before, at the start of the year in January. So that's USD yen. We are in some profits. If you didn't take this trade, because it is a swing opportunity, you can take it. Just to give you an entry, zooming in, we have reached some hourly support. So for entry, I love doing sell stops. If I did miss a big move and prices has touched a key level, I usually use sell stops. So right now, price has tapped a nice hourly support at 105.601. If you want to enter short for the further move down to 104.736, look for sell stops below this area, or even just watch price action, because sometimes price could just spike down there and just spike back up, and you'll be caught in drawdown. But you can catch the continuation move down with the sell stop somewhere down here, and our take profit right there. Stops just above the recent highs. You can even extend it a bit further, but the overall risk to reward is there, and that's what you can do if you did miss the initial push down. Whoops. So that's USD yen. The risk to reward for that trade, 1.148. Definitely good for a swing opportunity, and you have to take into consideration USD's has cut rates. Yen is acting as a safe haven. Just an all in all good setup when the technicals and fundamentals align. So that is the four majors out of the way. Now let me know about any pair recommendations before I send this live session off. Check the chat. Once again, props to Jared for getting the long on euro. Hopefully we can short back to where you are and cut our losses there, or actually cut some profit there. Oh, someone did ask for CAD yen, so I will look at that. Pretty sure it'll be similar price action to the euro yen and USD yen. Okay, Euro Aussie. What's up, Doris? I believe you asked about Euro Aussie yesterday as well. So let me just finish off CAD yen, and Euro Aussie will be next. So CAD yen had a nice slip from our support region on the daily yesterday. Excuse me. So there was an entry. Hopefully whoever asked took it. So this is our support region right here, right? And we did get that push down, and this is why you always wait for a break, retest, rejection. So we had the push down. We did have a retrace. We had a decent rejection, but we printed a hammer. If you zoom in, when I say rejection, I usually want bearish candles with very little wicks at the bottom. Candle like this one, or candle like this one, candle like this one. So we printed a hammer. So that wasn't an entry, but then we got a further push and a retest of this level of 81.165. I'll show you on the monthly. It's a support level, and then we did get these fat bearish candles to go short, and now we have a further entry on the weekly. We can see, looking to the left, this level 79.451. We're sitting on it right now. If we do get a closure below this level, I'd be more than comfortable to swing trade all the way down to 76.882. Looking to the left, in 2016 when we were at these levels, when we did get that closure, we did get pushes to this key level, and even as recent as December, when we did get this close below this level, we did have an attempt to go to 76.882. We didn't get all the way there, and I've said this before, range fills, they might not go all the way there, but you at least get 30 to 40, 50% of that move, and that's still profits that you can secure off the table. And so that's what we're looking at. In terms of stops and entries, going to the 1 hourly, actually 2 hourly would be nice. So 2 hourly, we're sitting at support. We did get that push. We print this indecision candle. What we want is, maybe this bearish candle to engulf this previous candle as a further confirm, and we can short it down to this level right here. Let me just squeeze it down. Plotting a trend line just as additive confluence. So to get an idea of stops, entry would be somewhere down below here. Stops right above these recent highs. And if we also look, this area was acting as previous support and also acted as resistance. Hope you guys can see that. Recent support here, push, resistance, tap down. So we're going to have stops right above 79.970, so 80.185. And our final take profit would be this level I spoke of, 76.882. Risk to reward is 2.16, phenomenal, which is great. So this is what I look for. Watch for the price action for CAD yen for whoever asked. Let's get that closure below this candle right here, this indecision candle, maybe even an engulfing pattern. If you really are risk aversive, look for a push down and then a retrace, a retest rejection, and then enter. But this is the overall structure of the short setup. Definitely there, and definitely goes on with the trend. We don't want to catch reversals. We want to trade with the trend most of the time. So that's CAD yen. I actually like this session. Really good session. Probably the best session of the week so far. A lot of productivity. So Euro Aussie. Yesterday I got asked about Euro Aussie. I think by you, Doris. So Euro Aussie. We had this push. Yesterday during I believe it was Japan session. We saw the Aussie dollar slip, and so we had this initial push above this key resistance at 1.6624. Then we had a nice aggressive pullback. And then it did look like we were going to go long, right? This was a nice candle off this resistance to go long. Price just snapped back, and right now we're just sitting on this trend line. So right now I would be pretty cautious about this trade. The setup looked like it was there, and if you did take it, if you're a price action trader like myself, you probably would have taken this trade. The only problem is this high right here. We haven't cleared it yet, so it could have just been this initial push. Could have just been the production of a lower high before we create a lower low. But we do have this nice trend line here to act as a resistance for buys. Act as a kind of a support for those that are in buys. You may be looking at this as a lifeline. If we do get a break outside of this trend line, we may see some slippage in the Euro Aussie, just because it has overextended quite a bit. The weekly time frame will show you. Looking at the weekly, the Euro Aussie has it overextended quite a bit. What I mean by that is it has pushed through some key levels without really retesting them or having a major retrace. So maybe due for one, maybe down to, let me expand this out. The Euro Aussie moves so much, so levels are pretty expanded, but it might make a deep retrace to 1.65600. It has yet to even retest that level, and the daily it is looking bearish. This candle hopefully does not close that way, as we are in Aussie dollar shorts. But yeah, it may make a deep retrace to this level right here. Excuse me. Before popping back up. Alternatively, from here we can go higher. But if you're looking for buys, I look for at least a push above 1.66862. That's just to confirm that this wasn't just a lower high, and this was just a lower low. I mean a higher low, and we're gonna go up to make a higher high. So that's what we're looking at for Euro Aussie. I do see the overall target 1.68747. The Aussie is weak, so we should see that move play out. But that should be today's session. Look out for more trade setups. Most of the time, setups are given during the live session. Usually the price action plays out during the London session, and I'm usually busy during the day. This is not the only thing I do for Forex Lens. So a lot of you are catching trades on your own. For example, Euro Yen, USD Yen, and Euro USD buys, which is great. Tomorrow is Thursday, so that'll be the last session of the week. We don't really do sessions on Friday. Tomorrow we do have some fundamentals, most notably Aussie monetary policy and Govlo speaking at 7:30 p.m. These times are in Eastern, so make sure when you go on Forex Factory, you take note of what times are in your time zone. But that's what we're looking at. Maybe hopefully by tomorrow. I don't think we need it, but we'll have this as a catalyst for further moves down. We do have Chinese CPI after, which is also key for the Aussie. So tomorrow's a big day for the Aussie. We'll see how that pans out. If we do get Aussie weakness, we can see this long trade play out for the Aussie dollar, and the Euro Aussie and Aussie dollar should slip. So that's today's session. I will have signals later for today. It was a great session. I love the interactive people in the chat, which is great. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 11. Happy trading and be safe.